Morning, guys. Here to talk to you about step 3 of the multi-genre project. Um, it is essentially your introduction to the whole project. So, if you were to think of it in terms of like a regular essay that we write in class, this would be like your introduction paragraph, but it's going to be a whole letter. It should be one page, no more than one page, single spaced, with an extra space between paragraphs. So the writing should be single space, but then when you go to a new paragraph, you hit return twice to give it extra space between the paragraphs. And it should sound and look like a letter. So you begin by saying, "Dear reader, comma," and then you go into the body of the letter. And at the end, you're going to figure out somehow to sign it. You might have to just type your name if you are able to put some kind of signature in there. That'd be kind of cool, but that's not necessary. So this is the introduction to your project. So you're going to do the things you would do in an introductory paragraph. You're going to have your thesis. You're going to have a little bit of a blueprint. And the whole thing is a hook. So this should get your reader excited to read the rest of your project. So you want to keep that in mind throughout the whole Dear Reader letter. So I'm going to go through the instructions like I have for steps 1 and 2. If you don't have that up, you can pause the video and pull up the step 3 letter to the reader. So do that now. Okay, so you're going to write a letter to the reader with pertinent information about your topic. Pertinent means relevant. Pertinent is another word for relevant. Include the important data from your research to rationalize the importance of your topic and set the reader up for what is ahead. So you're not going to put all of your research in. This is only a page. You're going to pull the most important little pieces of your research out and include that in this letter. Rationalize the importance. So why is this important? Why do you care? And why should the reader care? That's the real purpose here. Like I said, the whole thing is a hook. So you're telling me why this is important, why I should be reading this. As you conclude the letter, be sure to transition into the rest of the project. Your letter should be no longer than one page, single spaced, with an extra space between paragraphs. I talked about that already. It should look like a letter. So make sure you begin by addressing it to the reader. It is not as formal as an essay, so your voice should come through. So try to make this sound like you. You chose these topics, so hopefully a little bit of excitement will come through as you are writing this letter. Let it sound like you. It's not formal. That doesn't mean that you're going to be cursing. That doesn't mean that you're writing in a lot of slang, but you can use your voice. Okay, it's not a formal essay. The letter to the reader is essentially your introduction to the project. Make sure you include the following. So your thesis question. What are you seeking to answer? Obviously, that's got to be in there. That's the whole point of the project. So that's got to be in the intro. The importance of the thesis. Why is it important to you? And then why should it be important to the reader? So you want to try and talk about both of those things. Why was this interesting to you? And then therefore, why should it be important to the reader? The most interesting or important things you found in your research, your perspective on the topic. What are you going to focus on? What is your take? So this is very personal. This is your topic. This is your project. How are you going to look at this? What's your angle? What's going to make this unique to you instead of something I could just go out and research on the internet? Okay, what is your angle? The golden thread. So what's going to unify this project? So what are you going to carry throughout the whole project? That's the golden thread. So you're going to do all these different genres as we move forward. What are all those genres going to have in common? Okay, this is closely related to your take on it. Essentially, what are you trying to say? So hopefully that will be the golden thread. That will be the thing that connects all of these pieces together. And then the last thing we already talked about is the hook. The letter's purpose is to get the reader excited about your project. Keep that in mind throughout. Okay, you want the reader saying, oh, yeah, I want to look at this. I want to see what this person has to say about this topic. Make sure you read these directions carefully. Make sure you look at the examples on the portal assignment. I put up an example from a senior at St. Francis who just did this, and then an example from a college project, just to kind of give you an idea of what these should look like and what the letters should. Make sure you read the letters to the reader in particular. I think almost all of you have done the part one, and I've received a lot of part twos. I will be looking through those part twos today and tomorrow, reading through them, grading them, and evaluating them, letting you know what you might need to add, what you might have done well. So you can look for emails from me on that. I hope that you all are well, and we'll be talking soon.